Alright guys, it's Brink here, and I kinda just wanted to make a general video about the background of my channel and what the general basis of it is going to be. Alright, so I first created my channel back in 2010, I think it was, and the name on it is ESX Excellence, and that was actually my competitive sniping team at the time, and I created the channel in order to, I guess, follow the teams back in the day, which would be like Raw Material, and at the time I don't think Instinct or Skies were a thing yet, so it was more just Method, and I'm trying to think of other big names back then. It was so long ago, probably back when I was in middle school nearly. The channel kind of expanded after a couple years, like I quit for a while, and then I got back into MW2, but I got into video editing. So that's kind of how I came back into the Call of Duty community, I guess you'd say. Oh my god. What is this connection? Alright, well, I might have to play a bot game here for the rest of this, because this Wi-Fi is absolutely trash. Alright, I just finished setting up the bot game, but as I was saying, I created my channel and then slowly got into video editing, and at the time I was complete trash. I'd probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I'd say maybe sophomore, junior year in high school. As I started to get bigger in the community, it seemed to, my channel just kind of gained a little bit of subscribers, which is why I have around 300 now, but it's not like any of them are active. The majority of the people that watch my videos would just be people in my clans and friends that would just comment and like on them just to show support. But that's why I'm trying to build it now, because I've always wanted to kind of make a good hobby out of YouTube and making videos and delivering content that people want to see. I was on the wrong team that whole time. But as I got bigger, I got into this one team that first like kind of got me into bigger teams, but this team was kind of iffy at the same time, because at the time this team was around, a team also started. They had the same name, but they had much bigger players, so this team grew drastically more than ours did. And it was, ours was called the Toon Army. I'm sure if any of you were in the community back then, you know all about this. And then Tune This Up came around, and it was pretty much like trash for us, because we just got pooped on every single upload. That became a thing, so eventually I just got out of that because I couldn't have that kind of hate coming towards myself and what I was doing at the time, because I was trying to get into decently big teams, but nothing like too crazy at the same time. So I was trying to get into some decent teams, so by about the end of my time while I was doing editing and everything, I ended up getting to like Golden Sniping. They were a decently big team back then, and also Sonic, they were decently big. And then I'd say the peak of me getting anywhere would have been when I got the Best COD Tricks, and I'm actually still on their editing roster right now. And that whole, I'd say that whole time span was fun and all. I just really didn't have much time as I would have liked to dedicate towards playing and editing, just because I was in high school, but I also worked like 40 hours a week at Panera Bread, which was awful, but that's kind of why my uploads are kind of going to be intermittent now too, because I also work a full-time job and I'm in college as of right now. Well, I'm going to try and put out content as much as possible. What I want to base this channel around is kind of just like my life. I'm kind of going to just play games and make commentaries, kind of like what I'm doing now, but at the same time I want to be able to upload like in real life videos and show you guys like adventures I go on and everything. And that would be generally what I'd like to deliver in my content. I have a PS4 and I have an Xbox One, so I'll probably be playing games from both of those. I just can't really record my Xbox One. They have the DVR on there now, which is what I use to record on this, because right now I don't have an Elgato or anything. And the only problem is my controller. Well, actually, both of my Xbox One controllers were built without the 3.5mm jack that you would generally hook microphones up to. So my headset I use just doesn't plug into my Xbox mic. I still might record some Xbox games. I just kind of have to use my laptop to record the audio, which would be kind of trashy, but I might just do it anyways, because fuck it. Other than that, I want to play a variety of games, probably like UFC, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duties. I'm also really good at Guitar Hero, so I'll probably play some of that. I'll also be uploading edits and stuff, because I still really do enjoy editing Call of Duty, even though I know it's not like a huge thing anymore. Like, the community's kind of big, but it's nowhere near where it was or where it used to be. So I'll still be uploading edits whenever I just feel like doing any, because they're still fun to me. But that's pretty much where I want this channel to go. I'm just hoping I can kind of get a general following base that way. I'm not just making these videos for myself to watch all the time. You know, I really wouldn't mind that either, because like I said, they're just a hobby that I know I'd have a lot of fun doing. And that's why I'm starting it now. But I will be getting a webcam in the future, and also like a better microphone and just more quality stuff for recording. That way I can deliver the best quality videos as possible without like shitty mic quality like this, or no face cam or anything. Now, let me actually think here. I actually want to remember some of those big competitive sniping teams that were big back then. I remember it seemed like everybody in that community just wasn't that old. I mean, there were definitely a lot of guys in like high school, probably a little bit of them in college, but it was pretty much you started a team, you'd go for a couple games, see if you could get ranked in the leaderboards, and if you didn't, ended, started another team. I don't even want to know the amount of money I spent on changing gamer tags for clans, like throughout trick shotting, competitive sniping, all of that. That would just be disgusting. But luckily back in the day, it wasn't my own money. Oh my gosh. Oh no. No. Back then, I'd honestly say I was probably more interested in being a player than anything. Because even though I made it into every team I ever made it in just off of being an editor, I would always try to like put out pretty quality episodes for people. Even though a lot of them ended up being like, some of them were just pure like leftovers, I'd throw it together and call an episode just because I was an editor, so people just kind of didn't give a shit. Like, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool, he's an editor, figures he puts out clips like that. But then I remember during the final couple months before I quit and went to college and was getting ready to move and all that, me and my friend Casey, we actually straight grinded for like 4 months straight on MW3 and Black Ops 2, a little bit of MW2, pretty much at everything, because we were wanting to put out this like amazing dual TOD, and we ended up rounding out, I want to say probably 30-40 clips for his dual TODs, like all together. So it wasn't like a crazy amount, but it was definitely my best project I've ever been a part of. And then I actually ended up editing that for me and him, and that took probably a month or two to edit. And that's actually on my player channel that I have no access to anymore. So I'll probably link that in the description if anybody wants to check it out, maybe watch it. It's pretty decent. I mean, like, it was definitely the most fun thing I've ever made. Right after I released that, I just quit, because even back then, like, that montage, the reason it took me so long to edit it was simply because I was in the process of already, like, getting tired of Call of Duty and editing and all of that, so I just intermittently editing it. Like, I wasn't doing anything crazy on it. I'd just work on it a little bit, stopped, and work on it again. And back then, my friend Casey, he was actually getting ready to go into college, and I was, I believe, about to be a senior in high school. Either that or I was ending my senior year, I don't even remember. It was one or the other. But he didn't really care that it took that long either, because he didn't really have anything crazy going on. I didn't have anything crazy going on. None of us were in teams. It was just kind of like, we both just knew it'd come out when it came out. But once that dropped, it actually got a good bit of views. It got about 700. I know that's nothing crazy, but for me, at the time, that was awesome. Got about 70 to 80 likes. I was pumped. But looking back on things like that, I just realized that this is a hobby that I could have a lot of fun doing, since I'm clearly back on the game, kind of back in the community, just bullshitting and seeing what happens. But it is something that I enjoy doing very much, so I'll be making as much content as I can put out in between my job and classes, but I actually out of class in a couple weeks, and then I'll be getting my own apartment as well, so you can expect a lot more often uploads in the summer, and that will be awesome, because I'll be able to do more of what I want to be doing. Like, I don't want to say I don't want to be doing college, but let's be honest, it's getting the degree is great, but actually going to all the classes and stuff kind of sucks. In an overall sense, it's just not that great. It just seems like more of a burden than anything, since you go through like 15 years of school just to, not 15 years when my time's out, literally go 12 years of school just to go back for another 4 years. Oh, that's like collateral. But yeah, that's kind of what I hate about it. But yeah, like I said, I'll be putting out more content. Subscribe if you want to maybe check it out. It will be pretty sweet. And that's all for now, guys. I'll try to put out a video as soon as I can.